Hello, friends. You're now listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean, and watching on YouTube. Episode 56. Again, that is episode 56 of Peter Talks Smackdown. I felt like it's more than that, but oh well, we run with it for now. Shit, let me see. Let me make sure. I'm tripping. Am I tripping? Yep. Episode 56. Yeah. Of Peter Talks Smackdown. I am Peter, and this is your one-stop shop in all things WWE Smackdown related. And, we're just coming right off of some of the most exciting days of wrestling. Friday, you had NXT TakeOver. Sunday you had WrestleMania Dallas or WrestleMania 32, whatever the fuck you want to do. You had day after WrestleMania. And within those days, you had a lot of shit going on. A lot of title changes, a lot of new champions, some returns, some upsets, fucking turns, betrayals, just, a bunch of shit going on. I mean, a bunch of shit going on. Hell, this week even, just this past Thursday, this Saturday today, so 2 days ago, me and the homie Terrence Polk, also T.O. Polk, we went to NXT Concord. I got to see Nakamura live. Speaking of Nakamura, debuts too, a lot of call-ups this weekend, but a lot of shit. But me and the homie Terrence, we went down to Concord, saw NXT, saw the card. The main event was Nakamura with Finn Balor versus Ty Dillinger and Baron Corbin. It was a fun time. I got to wear my Eva Mania shirt. And Eva, she came out twice, and I was like, she won a match. She beat the fake Iggy. I don't even know the fuck that chick's name, but I just call her fake Iggy. And then she came out to say that she had confiscated Asuka's belt and that she had to get it back from her in South Carolina. So I was just like, man, it was a good week. But on the ride up, I've been wanting Terrence to get on this podcast for so fucking long, and I finally got him. So I brought my iPad with me, and I fucking just turned on the recorder, and I said, Terrence, we're going to record a podcast on the ride. So it was our own little ride-along, Peter's ride-along with T.O. Polk. So that should be up tomorrow, and we're basically talking about where he stands with wrestling, how he felt about the wrestling weekend, and things of that nature. So without further ado, let's go into... Oh, yeah, by the way, check out my videos, man. I got some videos up. Check out last Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling podcast. I think it's 86. I got some reaction videos up and whatnot. And check out, if you haven't yet, Peter's Raw recap from this past week. So... let's get into SmackDown. And this week's SmackDown is from Houston, Texas, right? They just got finished with the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship where my Tar Heels went down in flames to a buzzer beater of all things. A buzzer beater. But it starts off with Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns comes out and, he always talks more on SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown is like his training ground to learn how to cut a fucking promo. But he gets up there and he's gloating about beating the Authority and that he addresses being hated. I'm not a bad guy, I'm not a good guy, I'm the guy. It looks like this whole the guy gimmick is going to be his thing. He's going to be like the guy. Look for a t-shirt real soon that says the guy on the front or some shit. And how he's going to be AJ Styles because AJ Styles just won a number one contendership this past Monday on Raw. So AJ Styles comes out, and it's kind of surreal once you think about it. Because if you've been following AJ Styles' career, you know, all of a sudden he's going up against like the golden child of WWE. You know, I never thought that he would not only be in the WWE, but let alone get a title shot. Now, from the conversation I had with Jake, I still think, and they're doing this begrudgingly, they're going to get the heat from AJ Styles over to Roman Reigns and basically do the same thing they did with Daniel Bryan. If he beats this guy, he's going to be, you know, proven, you know. It's almost like a Highlander type shit. Like once you beat a Highlander, you cut a motherfucker's head off. All the powers of the people that they defeated go into you. I feel like go into them. That's how I feel like what's happening right now with Roman Reigns. He's getting these quality victories over like these guys. I mean, Triple H is a quality win. That guy's a 15-time world champion, right? 15-time world champion. You know, Daniel Bryan, technical genius. You know what I'm saying? You look at a guy like Roman Reigns, you go like, does he really deserve all this stuff? And like, it's not that he doesn't deserve it. I mean, he's a wrestler, whatever. He does what he has to do to get there. But like, I wish his entire reign, I mean, no pun intended, he's been at the top. I think the only time he really came down a level when he went against what the hell, Bray Wyatt, right? That was the only time he kind of scaled down the card. But I just wish it was more natural, I guess. I wish he could have just like, I don't know, paid some dues. And I think that's what everyone's bitching about him being at the top. And everybody, I say this once, you say it a million times, oh, he should turn heel. I was like, I don't think he should turn heel. I just think he should go down the card. You know, turning him heel is not going to do us any favors. What? I mean, right now he's being this tweener, the guy, and I don't know. He's still polarizing. He's still a babyface to a certain degree, even as a tweener, even as like an asshole. You know, because you gotta love your assholes. But what I was saying, it was kind of surreal to see AJ Styles just face to face with Roman Reigns. It's two worlds that I never thought would ever collide for any reason whatsoever. But I tell you this, the both of them aren't that great with promos. And this promo back and forth itself was just so scripted. I mean, it felt scripted. You say this, now I say this. You say this, now I say this. And that's basically what that promo was. But just to go down what it was about, AJ came out to congratulate Roman Reigns for being the champion, for winning the championship at WrestleMania. And he shook his hand, and then he shoots on being a number one contender. Roman replies, "You haven't been that long. You haven't beaten me yet, and you never will." And that's how that ends. For AJ Styles having a title shot, whatever, hook or crook, get in there, get your title shot. But I still think it's no more than to get Roman Reigns over. I'll be willing to cut off my beard to the idea that AJ Styles is going to beat Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. And I said in my preview, my predictions for the not Royal Rumble, but for WrestleMania, I had Jericho going over on AJ, and I was like, hey, don't be surprised if this guy is on the Andre over the top battle royal next year. And the argument that me and Jake had about me believing that the WWE just doesn't see money in this guy. They just don't see money in this guy. Well, we'll see. He has a job. Lucha Dragons versus the debut of the Vaude Villains. And surprisingly, these guys went out there and they did well. I thought that they were just going to be shipped out there to basically sink or swim, but for the most part sink. But they came out. You really can't. Again, you can't really judge the. You can't judge the canned noise of the WWE. But they, they went out there and they did a good job. I'm just worried about the commentary and how their treatment of them are. And, it was a little shaky. So the only people that I feel aren't going to get, are going to stand in the way between, say, them getting over or not is Jerry the King Lawler. Like, he is. And if they go to Raw, JBL. Because it's one thing to sort of shoot on them. It's nothing to, make them seem like a joke. And they made them sound a little like a joke. But I figured they'll lean in even more after this, because then there's just going to be another ascension. I hope not. Either that or, Simon Gotch. Because Aiden English just looks a little too weird. I mean, he would be like a good hand as a heel because he's so pasty. But Simon Gotch actually probably has a singles future. So we'll see with that. This gimmick is just, it's too wild, but we'll see what happens. It could get over. I mean, they could get over like a motherfucking, they could get over like a fat rat. But the villains show up against the Lucha Dragons, and they're on the heel side of the ring, by the way. So I'm like, well, are these guys, what's going on? They put them out there against the Lucha Dragons. I guess being that they're villains, I guess that makes them bad guys. But they don't, I don't know. The presentation, even on NXT, isn't that they were bad guys. That monkey flip 450 splash, that shit never gets old. The villains actually win. And that's like where I go, oh, fuck. They actually won. You got the U.S. champion over there and shit, and Kalisto. And the Lucha Dragons have been having their asses handed to them recently by the League of Nations and by the Dudley Boys and by the New Day. And it's like, wow, they just lost to the fucking Bob villains too. They got to do something with those guys. And you got a guy in Kalisto who just won, who defended his U.S. belt at WrestleMania. He gets pinned here with he's about to do a Salida del Sol, and it gets broken up, which leads to the whirling dervish and a 1-2-3 victory. They got to do something soon with that tandem. You got to let Kalisto go free. He's getting pinned every single time. And it's not looking good. And Sin Cara in that ladder match didn't do half bad either, man. That big ladder spot on the Stardust, that's something you remember, man. So, at the expense of the Lucha Dragons, Vaudevillains, they saved themselves from like being considered a fucking Ascension Part 2, and they got the victory. We'll see moving forward what happens to both these guys. Do the Vaudevillains show up on Raw? One can only tell. How do the Lucha Dragons break up? I do not give a fuck about a Sin Cara heel turn. And I hope it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, we kind of going down heel, let's go our separate ways, shake hands, and do it like that. That can happen. I don't want to see a Sin Cara Kalisto feud. I don't. And I hope no one does. Right? Summer Rae versus Natalya with the Flairs on commentary. Summer Rae gets a lot of fucking offense. And, I have in my notes right here that Summer Rae, and it's funny too because Jake is not a Summer Rae fan at all. But he loves Charlotte Flair. He's a Summer Rae fan, but he hates Charlotte Flair. Damn it, it's the other way around. the hell? I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. I started early today, and I just ate like a really nice pizza. So, Jake loves Charlotte but hates Summer Rae. I feel Summer Rae wrestles circles around Charlotte Flair. The only difference is Charlotte has the name and the pedigree, and Rae doesn't. But during this match, Summer Rae gets a lot of offense. And what in my notes, go back to my notes, I have Summer Rae and Miz comparison. And I look at Summer Rae as someone who's really a good hand in the ring. She's really good. And she absolutely gets no credit because no one takes her seriously. It's not that I don't think people think she's bad and can't wrestle. People do think she's bad and think she can't wrestle because they just don't take her seriously. Summer Rae hasn't been put in a situation to be taken seriously. But she gets in almost every match I've ever seen, unless it's like a squash match or something, very much like this one. But she gets a lot of offense in. I think she can possibly be somebody. I think within the next 3 years, she's still super young. She could possibly be the champion. But one can only tell. One can only wait and see. We got a lot of tall blondes now on this damn card, on this roster. But it ends with they're talking to Charlotte. Charlotte's talking her shit, and it seems that they're going to start a feud with Natalya, like they just did one at Roadblock. They just had a match at Roadblock that Charlotte went over, and Natalya just basically steps up to her on Raw when she kind of dissed the women's division, and now they're feuding again. I'd imagine this has way more to do with Natasha working out Charlotte. Like, she has some more kinks she need to get out to be like a really well-rounded wrestler. I mean, she has the charisma, she has the flair, no pun intended, and she has her dad. So all those things, those pieces, but she's still a little ragged in the ring. And if they can do this feud long enough to where she can pick up some pointers and improve, hey, more power to her. But this match ends in a sharpshooter, and that's it. We'll see what this feud has moving forward. We get Ryder versus The Miz, and this is an Intercontinental rematch. He lost the match on Monday. Zack Ryder, he lost the belt due to distraction of Maurice smacking Papa Ryder's face. I would suggest, if you watch the show, and anyone who loses their belt or wants to get a shot at the belt, don't do it on free TV. You'll never win. So even going into this thinking like, hey, maybe there's a chance that Miz can get his belt back. But I was like, oh, fuck, they're not going to wait till Payback? Miz retains. And this match starts off, Ryder comes out, and then you have Maurice comes out. And it seems that they're a tandem. And this couldn't be a greater time for The Miz. This is probably one of the best things that ever happened in Miz's career moving forward. Getting Maurice out there, because she's not going to be in ring, I don't think. I hope she's not. She's not really needed. She's on Total Divas. Indeed, she done got her Total Divas contract, and she has a valet contract, and it's awesome. No pun intended there. But Miz needed Maurice. She comes out. She speaks a little French. She introduces herself again. But she does the Alberto Del Rio. And I'm like, well, who the fuck gave her the kudos to do that? My name is Maurice. But you already know that. I sat there in my head like, did she just fucking do Alberto Del Rio's plug? Jesus Christ. But man, this match was badass. And just like with Summer Rae, I was saying with Summer Rae, that match was pretty good. Like, this match over-delivered. That Raw match wasn't crap. It was nothing. It was horrible. And it had way more to do with any and everything outside the ring than it did in the ring. But man, they went out there and gave 15 minutes worth of fucking good wrestling. And I know, and I like the Miz. Miz is, he's going to get in there and do his damn thing. But I was like, well, shit, this sack of fucking potatoes, call Zack Ryder, see what he does. He came to fucking play, man. He came to play. He came to wrestle. He put on his big boy wrestling pants and he fucking went out there and gave one hell of a show. He gave one hell of a show, man. I was so impressed. I was so fucking impressed. I don't know what this means moving forward, but if there is any kind of like tape that somebody in the back needed to know that Zack Ryder can go longer than fucking 3-5 minutes in the ring, that is, you got it, and actually be, believable. Because right now he's red hot babyface, and I do have I have a question. I thought Zack Ryder had new music. I thought he had like an upgraded version to that radio song. He does have a version of it. They need to go ahead and stop fucking around and whip that out. That could help him as well. Did they like have a change of heart to the idea that him using that would be a bad idea? That radio is getting stale. If you got something hard hitting, if you got that song just floating around out there, this hard hitting fucking like radio song that you could just slap on and he could come out from now on and use it, then go ahead and fucking do it. Don't beat around the fucking bush. But the match itself is awesome until Maurice decides she wants to take off the bottom buckle, use that as a distraction for the ref, and Ryder for that matter. As the ref gets the buckle, takes us out of the Miz, you get a fucking major thumb to the eye, and you get a skull-crushing finale for the win. So the Miz retains. Zack Ryder's looking for his eye on the ground, and that's about it. I mean, now what with Ryder? I got like some good moments over the past week with Ryder. I want more Ryder. I feel that if you're going to do this, you may as well go full in. He's over as fuck. The people still like him. He's probably one of the biggest. I would put him fourth highest babyface on the card. I mean, it's kind of hard not to root. It's kind of hard not to root for him. It's really hard to root against him. He's just a guy out there having fun. Even though his gimmick is that he's a douche, but he's likable. I wonder if they bring back the True Hollywood Stories. True, Long Island Stories. But Miz wins, and yeah, where they go? And it seems like the social outcasts, that's how they're going to be presented from now on. They're just going to be sitting on the apron just waiting. That's what it feels like. It's like they're in the unemployment line. They're just kind of sitting out there until someone calls their number. But they're sitting on the apron, and they're like, hey, somebody has to go up against Apollo Crews. We can do this old-fashioned way. Rock, paper, scissors. They do rock, paper, scissors, and everyone has scissors except Curtis Axel. I actually posted this on my Instagram. And he's like, you lose. He goes, the Axeman never loses. Yeah. And he chops all their fucking... He turns his paper into an axe. Oh, man. And he axes all their papers. Oh, boy. All their scissors. That was funny. Funny as hell. But you got Axel in there with Cruz. And Cruz, I'm so happy for him, man. He's there. He's doing his thing, man. They're doing the right thing with him. Like, let him just run through a bunch of jabronis. That's it. Tyler Breeze first. Then you got, Curtis Axel. Have a run through. I think I even said that on Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling, episode 86. Like, just give him the social outcasts. Let him run through all those guys. And then they give him the babyface beatdown. And then that's, how you do it, right? Align him with someone, Maybe align him with Mark Henry. You know what I'm saying? Align him with who needs a job right now? Align him with just somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's good. and that could just help him move forward, almost like a study buddy or a guardian or big brother, But he hits his finisher, that sort of spinning power bomb. On Raw, he neglected to fall on his ass. He neglected to drop on his ass, sit down. He just kind of did it and threw the guy down, and that was a big fuck up. We didn't talk about it. I didn't get the liberty with Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling episode 86 to talk more about it. But I imagine he just, nervous, whatever. But he did it this time. It looked great. So Axel gets the win. Cruz gets the win over Axel. And then you get a segment with Corbin in the back. Dude, I hate that promo. I hate the promo of the... I hate that promo. I hate that style promo. That Joe Cool promo. Man, fuck that shit, man. Corbin does that shit. Reigns does that shit. I don't know what it is. Just look into the microphone. Look into the camera or whoever and just yell at it. Don't give me that cool shit. I'm fucking like throw tomatoes at your bitch ass. You get Becky Lynch. Her shiner is looking damn good. But then she, how the fact that she's like someone who plays off puns and jokes and stuff. Like, no one finds it funny, but I put myself in stitches. Ha 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 ha. And she just proceeds to cut one of the whitest meat baby face promos ever. She's so good at the promos. And she's such a baby face, man. Like, everything about her just screams white meat. And then Emma shows up, and they go back and forth, and it looks like we got a new feud coming in with Emma and Paige. Emma and Lynch. So that should be interesting. I'm a big fan of the both of them. And I'm a big fan of... I've always been a fan of Emma. She's hot. She can wrestle her ass off. Right now she's playing a really good villain. But yeah, moving forward, we'll see what happens. We got Dean Ambrose versus Tyler Breeze. I don't know what it is about Tyler Breeze now. I know exactly what he is. He's being booked as a fucking jabroni. But any and every time he comes out, I roll. It's like, oh God. And I imagine anybody and everyone that fucking like sees him come out, you just like, oh God, here comes Tyler Breeze. I do the job. Do the job. And that's what he did. Made quick fucking work of this guy. And that was it. Where Ambrose goes right now, who knows? But, he's coming in. Whoever the fuck he faces next, just know he took 13 suplexes and F5 on some chairs. And he came out today like nothing happened. No bumps, no bruises. It's just a street fight. This is a street fight. You got Becky Lynch with a busted fucking eye, and she was just in a triple threat. This guy was in a no-holds-barred street fight. Well, it's kind of double down, no-holds-barred street fight. No disqualification. And he came out walking, hot-stepping. Just hot-stepping to the ring like nothing's wrong. But whoever goes up against him, again, he went hell and back, so he's going to be a tough cookie to break. Which is funny, too, because he gets out of the ring, and before he could even get to the ramp, Jericho music hits, which I thought was really fucking hilarious. Fuck your exit. I got to get in here. So as Jericho's walking down, Ambrose kind of stops and looks at him like, what the fuck, bro? And Jericho just kind of pays him no mind as he just walks to the ring. He's trying to hold in that smile, but he can't hold in his smile, man. He's just like, I just fucking trolled. I just fucking sunned this dude. Fuck him. So before we get to the rest of the guys that came out, we get a Golden Truth segment. And R-Truth runs up on Goldust with a camera. And he talks about how he can get him an audition in California, in LA, or what have you. And where the fuck are we going with this? Can someone please tell me where the fuck we're going with this storyline? Please. Please. But we get to the last match. It is a fucking amazing match. Good fucking match. And once you think about it, well, it's Y2J and Owens, the Canadian Crushers, against Cesaro and AJ Styles. And it seems that the Swiss Superman, whatever, I guess, yeah, come out of the suit and take it off. You'll be Superman. You know, you're Clark Kent and now, phone booth. You want to do something? Have him come out in a fucking suit and we'll have him walk into a phone booth. How about that? And then he walks out of the goddamn phone booth in trunks and tights and shit, right? In his fucking shoes. But he walks out in a suit. I thought it was just something him returning to and doing. But it seems like that's going to be his gimmick moving forward. I hope they stop it. It's kind of corny. But that's whatever. And AJ Styles. And Y2J and Owens are awesome together. They make a really good tag team. The match is going and going and going until Sami Zayn shows up. Because he still owes Owens an ass whooping ever since the fuck Owens has been with a WWE contract, whether NXT and on the main roster. Again, Monday, he was going to be in the Fatal 4-Way, and he got dropped through catering table. So, and he came out bandaged up, too. And you're thinking maybe Sami Zayn gets a little, redemption. But nope. He's wearing one of the steel steps around his neck. But what happens? Wait a minute, that happened afterwards. I apologize. He just kind of comes out, and then Owens gets rolled up by AJ Styles for the victory. Cesaro Styles wins, but then that just goes to the side because Cesaro and Jericho cleared out over the barricade at one point. So it's just Styles and Owens in the ring, and then Zayn shows up. I'm so slow right now. Zayn shows up, distraction, roll up, pin, and then Owens is mad and he runs out to basically get revenge on Sami Zayn, and then they're brawling, and then it ends with Sami Zayn being tossed into the steel steps. So it looks like we're probably at Payback get a clean just match between no stip between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And again, it should have happened at WrestleMania. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. I guess it's called Payback. Sami Zayn's gonna have to go over. He's finally gonna get his Kevin Owens finally gonna get his comeuppance. But this is a story that's been with these guys their entire career, and let them go. Jericho, Shawn Michaels with this. Let them just write out their own script. Let them have fun. Let them do what they do. They already know it. Ain't nothing back there that Michael Cole or Michael P.S. Hayes or Kevin Dunn or any of those guys back there, Freddie Prinze, nobody knows what those guys can already do with themselves. So just let them have it. A Jericho Ambrose feud would be pretty nice. Would be real nice. Cesaro, what do you do with Cesaro right now? I guess just have him just do things. Just have him do things. Here's an idea. Maybe Cesaro is like Apollo Crews' buddy. I think that could work. They could be a tag team. I think that could work. I guess not as a tag team. I don't want to see Cesaro in another tag team for now. I mean, he's better off on his own. But again, someone's gonna have to show Owens, Crews the ropes. And if there was one person I think that could do it, that come from somewhat of a similar background, I think it'd be Cesaro. And that's SmackDown, guys. I'm so tired. I'm gonna like load this shit up and take like a quick nap before I go into work, into DJ. So do yourself a favor. If you're listening, go back and listen to the previous podcast uploads. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscription button. Also subscribe if you're listening as well. If this is your first time listening to anything PJTW Central related. There's Peter's Raw Recap. No more New Day podcast. The t-shirt business got me twisted, so I can't really get to do any more than I really need to. Just Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling, Peter's Raw Recap, Peter Talks Smackdown. So that's what that is. Moving forward, no more New Day podcast. And I'm sorry, Nate. I mean, it was fun, man. It was a fun run. We got up to like 21 episodes, so go back and check them out if you get the chance. So yeah, hit the subscription button below, and if you're listening, subscribe. Put me on your playlist. Hit the thumbs up button. You can hit the thumbs down button too. It's fine, just as long as you hit a button. You can leave a message below if you want to contact me. PJTW Central or Ellen Japanese. That's LINJAPANESE. And that's my Snapchat. And by the way, yes, I'm wearing my Snap code. I wonder if you can add it. The sun is on it, but let me get. I keep it there for like if you're watching for a second. If you could whip out your Snap code and add me, that'd be funny. Oh no, wait, you can't add me because it's in reverse. Maybe to flip back around when it's uploaded to YouTube. But if so, add me. And you can go to Cut the Music. Again, that's cutthemusic.etsy.com. I also have the Ava Mania shirts for sale, along with a whole bunch of other stuff that I have for sale on my Etsy page. So Ellen Japanese is Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter as well. And anything else? Yeah, share. The best thing you could do if you have your own set of social media platforms, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Snapchat, whether it's Facebook, Pinterest, on and on and on, WordPress, I think, just on and on and on. Just put a blurb out there for us, man. It'd be greatly appreciated. That's about it, man. I wish there was something. I think there's something else, but who cares? Thanks for checking this out. Do all I just said over the past 2 minutes, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And go to cutthemusic.etsy.com and watch out for those foreign objects. I will see you. You'll hear from me tomorrow again. There's going to be a ride along Peter Talks Wrestling with Terrence Polk. So that's going to be up tomorrow. And then you're going to hear from me for Peter's Raw Recap. So, all right. Peace.